Happy Wednesday, guys. Today's home workout is an AMRAP 10 of 4 dual kettlebell Russian swings, 8 alternating kettlebell push press, then 16 alternating jumping lunges. So all around overall body workout here, guys. Really work on that hip power, then we work on the upper body, and then getting good leg burn at the end. If you don't have kettlebells today, just find 2 objects that are similar in weight, and you guys can do both movements today with ease without even needing kettlebells for the workout. These movements, guys, for the workout, ideally for the 4 and the 8, we want to try and do those unbroken. 16 alternating jumping lunges, you might have to break once or twice in the later rounds, but really make sure for the kettlebell push press and the Russian swings, you can keep those unbroken throughout the workout. 10 minutes, so we're going to keep that intensity nice and high. And I want you guys to shoot to get around 7 rounds. So you're looking about 90 seconds per round to finish a round in this workout. And it'll be really based off of what the weights you use today in the workout. If you have lighter weights, you might be able to score a little bit higher than 7 rounds. If you're able to go heavier or you're limited to heavier weights, then you might be around that 7 mark or just a little bit lower. So make sure you're trying to make that goal around that 7 round mark to keep that intensity for this workout. After the workout, guys, we're going to do some accessory work. That afterburner is 4 sets of 15 seconds star side plank per side. So we've done these ones in the past. I want you guys to again really challenge yourself, see if you can get that leg a little bit higher to really create that star shape during the side plank. And then those seated leg lifts, you can always do them in the pike position, so keeping the feet together in that seated pike position, or we can try to keep our feet in a straddle position and go a little wider, really challenge those hip flexors when we do them. So play around with that, guys. 4 sets for that afterburner. Hope you guys enjoyed this workout and the afterburner today. We'll see you guys next for the warm-up video. All right, we're here for the warm-up. So we're gonna start off with part A, which is getting that hip and the glutes nice and active. So starting off with those hip circles, we're gonna keep it a little bit different this time. We're gonna go from the hollow position and keep those circles a little bit smaller. We're trying to work on moving that hip in a controlled fashion. So to get into that hollow first, guys, so you guys can start from that pike position, that seated position here. You guys are gonna round that back, tuck in that rib cage so you're getting that core engagement. You sit back into that hollow position. Once you're here, we're gonna focus on one leg. We're gonna go for 5 nice small circles, really just trying to focus on the control of the hip. If it's getting very choppy, make a smaller circle, and as you get more comfortable with it, then you guys can get a little bit larger with that circle, or even get a little bit faster. I don't wanna see you guys go like this, so make sure it's nice and controlled the entire time. 5 in the clockwise direction, 5 in the counterclockwise direction on that one leg, then switch and do it on the opposite side. Once you've done that, you guys stay on the floor. Let's go for those single-legged glute bridges. So lift that one leg off the ground, back is flat against the floor. We drive our hips up and really feel that in our hamstrings and our glutes. 15 on one side, then once you're done, switch and do 15 on the opposite side. Again, make sure that hip is opening up each time you do it. Once you're done part A, we're gonna go to part B here. So with part B, you're gonna start off with a cardio component. 60 double unders, 20 calories, or 400-meter run here. Or if you guys have a pool, jump in that pool, go for a quick little swim. Once you're done that cardio component, we're gonna go for the second movement, which is 8 seated leg lifts over an object. So you're gonna get that core nice and active and that hip flexor active. So just pick any object, don't pick an object that's too tall. Start with a basic object and then you can get a little bit higher. We're gonna focus on that one leg at first. So we've done those leg lifts before with both legs and sometimes with single leg. This time we're gonna go over top of an object. So start with one leg. You're gonna keep that core nice and tight. You're gonna lift that leg over the object and then back in again. So we're gonna go for 8 reps. Once you're done 8 reps, switch and do it on the opposite side. Again, to make it harder, bring your hands in. To make it easier, hands further back. So play around with it. What the focus is to get that core engagement and the hip engagement there. Last movement here, 20 seconds of that single arm plank. So we're gonna go off with one hand. What I wanna see is that I want you to push through that lat into the ground, really try to engage that lat and the core as well at the same time. So I'm in this position, I'm gonna start off nice and wide, have a nice wide base, thinking about pushing hard into the floor, keeping the core tight. 20 seconds here, then 20 seconds on the opposite side. If you want to make it more challenging, bring your feet in, or if you want to make it a little bit easier, go off your knees, but again, still focus on pushing hard through that lat as you're doing that single arm plank. 2 rounds of that, guys, and then we'll see you guys next for the workout movements. So for the push press, remember it's one continuous movement, so you're not re-dipping in the knees. Just make sure you squeeze those glutes, lock out those knees as you extend straight up. So if you're going single object, you can go 10 and 10 per side here. With that dip and drive, remember, as we're coming down, we want to stay nice and vertical. So you don't want to deviate that back ankle at all. We want to keep it nice and straight, almost like as if I were leaning against that wall and I'm just going down with the length of the wall there, so I'm staying nice and straight. So think about that, guys. You're dipping down, staying nice and tall. Weight is going to be a little bit more in that heel as you're coming down. On the way up, guys, driving hard through the legs. As soon as we extend those legs, those knees, we're going to be driving that weight overhead. And again, once we're over here, squeeze the shoulder blades together, make sure they're back and down before you start that next rep. You can go continuously or you can stop in that front rack position if you need to reset. Remember, you're going to dip and drive up. As I'm bringing it down, it's about an inch off my shoulder, about a centimeter there. I'm going to start dipping down so that I can start my next rep. So control the way down, getting ready, dip, going into that next rep. For alternating jumping lunges here, guys, you want to choose that progression that will make sure knee stays in that right track, it's not wobbling at all. So if you find jumping and alternating your feet in the air is a little bit too challenging, you're not that stable, just go for regular lunges. So regular lunges again, you want to step forward, keep that shin nice and vertical to the floor, chest nice and tall, and then driving off that front foot to stand it up every single time we do that rep. Again, as you come down, make sure the full foot is making contact with the floor and push off that heel as you stand it up. If you are comfortable and you can really keep that knee in a nice track, so what I mean by that is if you're here and that knee is wobbling a lot, use that static lunge instead, that way I just showed you, or you can do the jumping lunges, which would be coming out of that bottom of the lunge, we're going to jump up, switch our legs in the air as we do that. Notice I'm really keeping tension to keep that knee in the right spot every single time. I'm squeezing the inside of my legs, my hamstrings, my glutes to maintain good positioning. So again, those alternating lunges, alternating jumping lunges will look like this. Make sure you're finding that progression that works best for you and for the intent of the workout. That will be the alternating jumping lunge.
Hey guys, we're going for the afterburner here, 4 sets of 15 seconds of that star side plank. So the star side plank, you're coming to that plank on your arm. This is the more challenging progression. Keep that core tight, push the hips up, and then raise the leg and the arm. You might want to look at a fixed point to help with the balance. If this is challenging, just drop to your forearm. Again, focus on keeping that hip nice and high and see if you can lift your legs and arm up. If not, just stay here. The focus is really the hips. Hold that for 15 seconds on one side, then switch to the other side for 15 seconds. Next, we're going for those seated leg lifts. So again, the easier progression would be on your back, lifting your legs. Focus on those hip flexors instead of the quads. If that is too easy, just come up a little bit on your hands and do that leg lift. To make this more challenging, you're gonna move your hands closer to your legs and see if you can lift your legs. And the most challenging would be with wide legs here. See if you can lift that up. It's 4 sets, maybe start with an easier progression, and if it's too easy, then you can progress to something more difficult.